Gives him a new set of downs.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They run the counter with Cook. They find some. Cook stripped. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Titans. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. The 20. And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. And maybe that's the perils of being a rookie running back in the NFL. I mean, look, it's not easy to hold on to the ball at any level with these talented guys. But in this league, you can learn a lesson early.
Without a doubt, and what a... Tough reminder for any running back, especially a rookie. The things you got away with in college probably won't work so well in the NFL.
And it is now 21-0. 1 quarter down. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to go.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. It's picked up by the Titans. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
One of the selling points of the in route is against the quarterback, a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
They'll sneak it with Mariota. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Mariota to throw it this time. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jonnu Smith, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. 3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up and make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. McKinnon, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And oh no, they spike it here. That was 4th down. So they spike it on 4th down, and they will lose the football. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Throwing is Mariota, being chased out left. Finding room inside the 40 and avoids the contact by sliding. Mariota had an 87-yard run as a rookie. This one a bit less, but it is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
To throw is Mariota. And it's brought in by Eric Decker. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy in the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Throwing, Mariota. And that is caught by Davis for a Tennessee touchdown. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now here's Suckup out to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
They'll run with Cook. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. It's picked up by the Titans. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point try now for Suckup. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly. But good strip. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Titans. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Mariota now after the fumble recovery. Left side caught by Matthews. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, after getting the ball in prime position to score after a fumble recovery, you think you're in a great spot. But the defense on the field is saying not so fast, and they've held firm on the first 2 plays.
Derrick Henry, and that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Mariota now on 2nd down. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Zone touchdown, Tennessee. Rashard Matthews from 4 yards out. And this Titans offense continues to pour it on. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This fielded at the 2. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no.
Quick strip. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Titans. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
It's not exactly round and round we go. But I'm looking at the poor defenses. All right, back-to-back possessions. The ball's turned over.
Back-to-back plays.
I mean, just that quickly. And you think you're going to the bench to get a little break, and all of a sudden you're hearing sudden change. Get back out there, grabbing your helmets and running back out on the field. I don't think it's going to affect them much now. But if this keeps up, you're going to have 2 very...
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Sharif Floyd able to use that strength and get him for a loss of 2. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass.
Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Harris, and it's a fumble.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game. 5
yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid idea about which team will be featured prominently in those highlights.
Might be a little biased, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A run. It's Murray. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sylvester Williams busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Titans getting set to go. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Mariota. Out to his left. And some room to roam now. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. It gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they... Murray fighting. Lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Mariota now. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he's brought down. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. A first down carry for Henry. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Henry. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him at the 32-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Boy, not deterred from those first 2 failed attempts. They're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. Here's Mariota, and able to find Decker. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Mariota gives to Henry. Down to the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Mariota. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. So they just got the football on an interception. They almost gave it right back the same way.
And, you know, when you look over to the bench after that type of a play, number one is pure relief. Didn't give it up. But it's not.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back. But it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defense coordinator says, we're going to call this be who you are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. 2nd down, Mariota. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity missed.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
After the interception, here's Keenum. The left side caught by Diggs. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now Keenum. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they are going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And they'll bootleg it here with Keenum. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. That one goes for 24 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to... fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Back now in Nashville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go now.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually third down, fourth down? They got them on second down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
Here we go.
A handoff. It's Murray. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll run. Murray. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now Castle under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Here's Castle. This will be caught at about the 6. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to kill.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daquan Jones in there to bring it down for a loss of 7.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Looking to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, this offense is staying put. They're just 1 for 4 in these situations so far, but they're going again on 4th down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it is incomplete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. Throw left side complete. That's Morgan. And he gets this one to midfield before he's... brought down.
Let's go.
Now it's the backup Bridgewater. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end route. Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football.
Plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Taylor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a 1st down. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, they get a fourth-quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Sylvester Williams able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So they have now gone for it on 4th 4 times, and they have converted no times.
I know we talk about analytics and how it's entered into the game, and there's a good...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 16 yards there, a Tennessee 1st down.
And, Brandon, this is where it pays to have a big back who can take over a football game, especially in the fourth quarter when you've got the lead, your ability to not just wear people down, but close games out.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll set up a throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't.
Here's Bridgewater. Oh, he dropped it, and that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Get ready. 180.
Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. On the catch, it's Jarius Wright. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Going with a screen for Murray. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Hey, guys, I got 19. He's mine. He's not going anywhere. Let's go.
Bridgewater again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Titans are going to recover the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Derek Morgan in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon.
Let's go. Do it. Do it.
And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing is Bridgewater. Now in desperation, looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Watch tight. Tight end right.
Bridgewater on 1st down. That is caught inside the 5. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play.
Let's go.
On 1st down, Murray. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3.